Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. I hope that everyone is doing okay on this particular 29th day, and the month is still, that is on third. We are almost coming to the end of this month. On other days, I'll just be happy, looking forward to this month ending. But on this particular day, it seems like I'm just not so excited about how everything is going to turn out, because at the end of the day, Seems like in Kenya we are pretty much doomed, but of course we'll get to talk more about that as we get to interact with the show. But karibuni sana to the Calmie African Diary Show. My name is Calmie, and of course I am looking forward to a very interesting show. And let me know how you are doing. Let me know how things are in your country, or let me know perhaps in terms of the economy. How is the economy in your country? Because we are about to take a look at the Kenyan economy. That is just something that we are about to dwell on. But before that, remember, you can simply get to log on to www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can proceed and get to watch some of these videos that you might have missed. You can get to like these videos. You can get to share these videos. You can also get to listen that is to the music that gets to play live on the Blackout Fire Radio. You can also get to read some of the blogs that are on the Blackout Fire Radio. And also another thing is that you can get to support the stream at www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And another reminder is that we do have other shows as well. We do have the Calmie African Diary Show. We do have the Voices of the Motherland Show. There's the Express Show. There's the there is the African Today Show. There's the 54 correspondents. I mean, the list is just endless. So you can't simply get to have a hold of this by simply logging onto www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. I am looking forward, like I had earlier on said, to a very interesting show because it's just a lot of updates that I am about to give in terms of what is happening to the country. But even before I get to focus on the updates, let me know, how was your weekend? What really did get, of course, to transpire over the weekend? Let me know regarding that. Personally, my weekend was fine. I cannot complain. And, this particular weekend marked quite, I can say it's quite of historical because beginning of today, curfew is on from 10 p.m. to 8 p.m. So you can imagine that over the weekend, we got to do everything. I am not going to mention, but you got, of course, on the positive side, we got to do everything as much as we could because we know that this entire week or this entire month is going to be a wrap for most of people. I got to see that some people are even whipped because right now you cannot be arrested and be taken to a police station. But on some situations, some people have been arrested. But on majority of information that I've had is that some people have just been whipped. So you can imagine the last time perhaps you were beaten was in high school or primary, only for you to get to be now whipped thoroughly. So that is what some people got to enjoy over the weekend. Of course, it is a sudden. I wouldn't want to interact. I wouldn't want to go through that. I know how bad I'm going to cast at that. But then again, the Kenyan police, whether you are who you are, considering they have found you that is in a crowd at the wrong time, before they get to even check your ID and maybe clarify, oh, this is someone's a prominent child, so he cannot do this and this. Because that is how it is. If you are from a prominent family, then you'll walk scot-free. But, well, if you are with this other, the struggling, you gotta be with a little bit. So that is how my weekend was. Let me know how your weekend was. And there's one thing, as I made my way to work, I got to realize this. I don't know if you have interacted with this. That is if you get to board trains or any public means of transport, or perhaps if you get to give someone a lift, because it just happens sometimes that someone is like, hey, give me a lift. Perhaps my car is having when my car's broke down and something like that, so I need to have a lift. And this person walks into your car or is sitting next to you, and there is that garlic breath on them. So I was seated peacefully, minding my own business. I'm not against those people who take garlic, because garlic has been known to have a lot of benefits. But please, try do something. Try do something to cover that breath, because it's killing people. I cannot stand the breath of garlic. And these people, most of the time, you get to see that they want to indulge into a conversation. Hold up. It's not happening, because I cannot bear the breath of garlic. So I don't know if you have interacted with that, but that is how my journey to work was. quite hectic with that garlic breath beside me, wanting a conversation. So you trying not to be rude to that person, you're like maybe staring out of the window, or you're just trying to just smile, and sometimes you're just trying to like maintain, you don't want to be that girl with the attitude. But I think it reached a point I'm like, mm-mm. In Swahili, we say kaende kaende. I cannot just sustain this anymore. I just have to have my own peace. But I'm not saying that those individuals who take a garlic, it's a bad thing. But just do something about it. That is how my journey was. Let me know how your journey was, considering that in Nairobi right now it is at 1:23 p.m. I understand that in different countries, for example, for those who are viewing from the diaspora, I believe that it is the wee hours of the morning, or rather it is maybe around maybe 7 p.m. or yeah, it's just, let me just say the wee hours in the morning, because we do have a difference in time. Let me know how your morning is turning out and about. But then again, one thing I can say is that we need to be positive, irrespective of the challenges that the government has posed on us. And we are going to focus on that. Remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. And today it is, as much as it is all about updates, we are going to take a look at the situation in the 254 right here on the Black Hot Fire Network, media for the 21st century. We are going to take a short musical break, but when we'll be back, I'll get to update you on what is happening. Because with me today, I do have, of course, a Kenyan newspaper, and I'm just going to take us through what is happening, because there's just a lot of things that are happening, and I'm like, if 2020 wasn't worse, then I do not know how 2021 is going to be, because right now people are torn between again traveling back to the village, because life in the village is quite a little bit cheap, and maintaining in the CBD. Students are torn in between continuing, to receive accommodation outside from home or to go home, because even the parents that they are depending on, they cannot be able to raise that money, most of the parents, because some of the businesses have been affected. And this time round, I don't think the landlords or the tenants, sorry, the landlords are going to, waiver some of their arrears in terms of you paying rent. So these are tough times, and we are about to focus on that right here on the Calmie African Diary Show on the Black Hot Fire Network Media for the 21st century. We're taking a short break, but we will be back to get to tackle what is happening. Karibuni sana to the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. My name is Calmie and this is the Calmie African Diary Show, and I hope that your Monday morning is turning out well. But if it is not, remember today is not as a tomorrow, and it is very much normal that in life you got to go through some challenges, but irrespective, it is all about pressing on. It is all about trying to do the best that you can do to ensure that basically you are on the right track. Now I want to start with these updates. Remember, I had just told you that with me today I'm just about to give you some updates before we get to venture into the topic of the day in terms of the hustling nation and COVID-19. We are going to take a look at that. But let's take a look at this first. That officially in Kenya, we have launched the 5G network. Let me repeat this officially. This was launched on Friday. And so far, we do have two places in the country. We do have a Nairobi, Westlands area, and we also do have Kisumu. They are the two places so far that they have, begun the rollout of the 5G. And a lot of questions have of course emerged regarding this. I do not want to go into the results of 5G, but we've all seen how it is going to affect the human population. And in Kenya, right now, the most commonly used network, it is the 4G network. We did have the 2G, we did have the 3G, but right now the most preferred one, it is the 4G. So it is believed that by the year 2025, that a majority of Kenyans are going to be able to use this 5G. Now, that is not even my issue. My issue is that Safaricom has merged with Huawei. Before I did my research, I didn't know that the Huawei company, was a law. I mean, it's just a part of the Chinese, part of the Chinese business that is highly in Africa. I used to love Huawei products because in town you can't help but see that there's a lot of Huawei stores, are selling the electrical appliances, the phones, and so on. And that sometimes I was like, oh, this is something legit, until I got a Huawei phone, only for me to realize that there's some things I cannot actually do with this. But in terms of Safaricom is the biggest network, in the 254. And in terms of them merging with China, that is the Huawei company, I think we have been talking about Africa being independent. We have been talking about Africa being free. Sadly enough, that is not going to happen. We are stuck. It's in Swahili, we call it a chanda na pete. Chanda na pete is just like the ring finger and the ring. That is what I mean. Chanda na pete is the ring finger and the ring. The way it's known that they go hand in hand, that one cannot do without the other. So that is just how we have put ourselves in the 254. That there isn't nothing we can do for ourselves without getting the support from the Chinese. Let me know how you feel about the 5G, or you can tell us if the 5G has already been launched in your country. Here in Kenya, yes, it has already begun, and right now 2 counties so far are benefiting from this. I believe only a few people are eager with this, but then again, I'll get to update you on how that goes. Let me know right here on the Calmie African Diary Show if the 5G is launched into your country and you are using it, or if you've started using the 5G. How is the experience? I understand in terms of speed, yes, it's just something so fast, but is there something that you feel is so sinister about this 5G? Let me know that on right here on the Black Fire Network, a media for the 21st century. And we do have some other African countries that the testing of the 5G was done. I'm talking about countries like South Africa. I'm talking about countries like Nigeria. We do have the MTN. The MTN tested 5G in Nigeria. We do have it was tested also in Uganda. Madagascar also is another African country that I did get to undergo the rollout of the 5G. And Yes, it's believed that almost 18 African countries have actually been that is have been going through the 5G testing in the country. But let me know how you feel regarding the 5G, or if you have begun using the 5G. And in other updates, something struck me when I was going through the Kenyan newspaper, that this actually brings us more to the topic of the day, that our government has come about the cessation of movements, so which means that some different counties are going to be affected, but the county that we believe should be having huge numbers of COVID cases, they are not affected, in quotes. And if you can tell, what I'm basically driving at is that corruption is here, whether we like it or not. And as I was going through the newspaper, right now the economy is pretty much messed up. That right now, if you had a job as a waiter, as a waitress, or if you just had a job, in a company, but the government feels that there are some companies that, according to the government, they feel like there are some companies that are just not, like necessary to operate. So if you're working in any of these companies, you have to go back home. And we all know that a company cannot be giving you a paid leave unless it's making profits. So, which will mean that some people are going to be locked out of their houses, which will mean that the survival rates of Kenyans, it is going to be quite a tricky one. And we have some people who actually operate, like for example, me. I come from Kiambu County, and I have to work in another county. Cessation of movement has affected them. And there are some jobs you cannot actually work at home. There are some jobs that require you to be on those premises, to be at your work premises for you to deliver the results. So you can imagine how right now Kenya is going to be. And I was just debating with some people, and they're like, in Swahili, mali imefikia uhuru hatuwezi tukimkumbuka kwa kitu yote mzuri. Just to say that where it has reached, our president, we don't think that when he will retire, we'll remember him for something good. Because of some of the tough measures that he has brought about to Kenyans. That if I am a parent, right now students have closed schools, universities are to be closed, of course. So all eyes on you. We do not have anything. So what do you think a normal person will do? And it is the same time that you do have the Dabab camp, the Dabab refugee camp. That is, it has a population of over, if I am not wrong, it has a population of over 210,000 people. But of course, the numbers can be more than that, who are set to leave the camp and find another place to live. Who are set, maybe if they'll find a country that is if they find a country that is ready and friendly to accommodate them, that it will give them asylum. So you can imagine over 210,000 people to be released with nowhere to go. The cessation of movement is there. At the same time, unemployment is there. So you want to tell me that this person will comfortably stay and live in peace, knowing that their tomorrow is not guaranteed in terms of food, in terms of getting the basic needs? They'll definitely get to indulge in crime. So I'm just worried at the rate at which crime rate is going to escalate. Because trust me, you cannot sleep hungry for more than even 3 days. You have to do something for yourself. You cannot go out there and beg. Who are you begging? Because no one is going to give you money. So right now, when I was going through the magazine, we've seen that Kenyans are sending their pleas out there to our president to ease some of the restrictions. Because some businesses do well, especially at night. Let me say, sometimes, in business, it's all about profit and losses. On that day of a loss, whereby you either get to have one client coming in, or no client at all. So, as a business person, you'll try that maybe at around this time, a customer might walk in, and at the end of the month, I will be able to pay my rent. But this is not happening. That's Kenya. We are going back to 2020, the year whereby unemployment is now becoming a crisis, the year whereby people are being thrown out of their houses because their jobs are affected. Yes, we do have unemployment even before COVID, but right now you can't imagine the doubling, or rather the tripling of these numbers. That our president did not really take his time to consider the way forward or a solution. Yes, if you're closing the borders, or if you are closing specific regions, have you given a solution to the people who depend on this and this type of employment? Or you as a government, what will you do to ensure that the rate of crime does not get to escalate? Because during this period, most people are very unemployed. And most of the time, when a thief is caught, they'll be like, "I didn't have money. I didn't have food." So that was the reason as to why I went outside and stole, or I killed someone for this and this. The refugee camp in the Bab and Kakuma are set, I mean the individuals there, they are set to leave that camp within 14 days. 210,000 people. We have not even dealt with the common Mwananchi out here who is not being unemployed. So you can imagine the way forward that we Kenyans are going to get. Let me know your view regarding that, because I find this to be quite disturbing, extremely disturbing. That we are not moving forward, that we are going to be still stuck in the same situation that you were back then in 2020. That come the end of the year, many people are going to count losses. Yes, we are witnessing. Yes, we are witnessing huge number of deaths. But has our government really considered the solution for the people out here? That the hustling nation is still going to hustle for the longest time, and at some point, not even being able to return in anything. Let me just get to share this with you. This is happening in the country. And right now, as we are talking, we do have, the rate that is, we do have fares have actually escalated. That for you to move from point A to B, you need to pay price of what you used to pay. Some places whereby people are paying even $10 to arrive to that places, now they are forced to pay $30, $40 for them to arrive to that place. And you're telling this person because the government didn't give them a notice to prepare themselves. It just gave them 3 days. In 3 days, where are you going to get that amount of money from? In 3 days, perhaps you are out for an event. Where are you going to get that money from? Let me just get to share this as we get to proceed with the show. Remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Fire Network, and this is happening in the 254.
The reason I love using StreamYard, well, that's easy. I can
has just received his weekly $10 payment from the government. The money is a lifeline to him and thousands of other Kenyans in urban areas who have lost their jobs because of coronavirus and the subsequent lockdown measures. Ochen is a casual laborer in the western town of Kisumu and has 3 children.
Tulianza na 500. We use 500 shillings for a banana hawking business. We then use the other 500 to buy food and other basic things.
In another part of the town, Helena Akello tells us this is the first time she's receiving food aid since March, when the first case of the disease was confirmed.
I have only heard about the government money. I have not seen it. I've just received this foodstuff from well wishers.
The National Treasury has so far disbursed about $100 million, with more on the way. Have lost their jobs between April and June this year, according to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. This has led to a doubling in the rate of unemployment from 5.2% in March to 10.4%. Now, this worrying loss of livelihoods is largely attributed to the COVID-19 pandemic. The president, in his national address last week, said that measures had been put in place by his administration to cushion the citizens in April and June this year, according to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. This has led to a doubling in the rate of unemployment from 5.2% in March to 10.4%. Now, this worrying loss of livelihoods is largely attributed to the COVID-19 pandemic. The president, in his national address last week, said that measures had been put in place by his administration to cushion the citizenry, which had seen over 47 billion shillings go to the pockets of Kenyans. To unpack the numbers from the KNBS and whether the president's assertions ring true to Wanjiku, I'm now joined by Mr. Kwame Owino, who is the CEO, Institute of Economic Affairs. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on News Desk.
Thank you.
Straight on to what you make of this statistic, sir.
Well, let's start with the number you mentioned, 1.7 million people. Yes, I think, when the COVID-19 emergency measures began, this quarter that we're discussing, which is the quarter between April to June, was the first full quarter in which those measures were in place. You remember we had restrictions in travel, we had the curfews ending up to 7 o'clock. So obviously a lot of people were affected, in addition to, of course, the movement between some countries, but also international flights. So we could tell that a number such as this would emerge, partly because all sectors were affected in very big ways. Obviously, people could not trade. Some formal sector businesses were affected as well, in the sense that restaurants could not open, hospitality places were affected. So in general, this figure confirms what has been suspected, but it's, yes, in that period, obviously, the unemployment rates are doubled, which is quite a shock. Yeah.
Indeed, but then again, is COVID-19 to blame entirely for this? Because we've had cases of unemployment as recent as last year, 2019, and then we didn't have COVID-19. So is it entirely to blame for this?
No, it isn't. Look, in a similar period last year, the unemployment rate was 5.7. So to come to 10.4 tells you that something big happened. And part of that, of course, was definitely the emergency because of the shock. Yes, the economy was becoming soft towards the end of that year and the past quarter, but on the whole, I think for unemployment rates in a labor force to actually double all within 1 quarter, remember this is just 1 quarter, suggests that yes, it wasn't just the normal business cycle in which, of course, the economy was softening. But if you add to the fact that the shock or the adjustment that had to be made on account of COVID-19 emergency measures that government had to announce, say for instance, schools were closed. Many people suddenly became unemployed. If you put all those together, it's clear that a large part of the story is the COVID-19 emergency response.
Let's talk more about the measures that the government has put in place to cushion Kenyans, because you would allow me to read from the latest address by the president, an excerpt of it reads, I've made certain directives to cushion our economy and enhance the purchasing power for our people. The notable one is the tax cuts we announced in March 2020. These have put 47.8 billion shillings in the pockets of Kenyans, including 14 billion shillings VAT refunds, as I directed in March of 2020. Has this been felt? Have these measures been felt by Wanjiko, sir?
Well, I think you see, let's start with the 47 billion that the president acknowledges, and it's true that this when you give a tax cut, and the tax cut came from income tax payments of 47, I mean from 30% to 25% per month, which also fell in during this period. It's material. I mean, because you're paying 5% less of your income in taxation. But if you don't have a job, that doesn't affect you. So that's a first. And secondly, because we have a big share of Kenya's population that works in the informal sector, and therefore they do not necessarily, if you're trading on a daily basis and your trade is affected by the fact that you cannot trade after 7 o'clock, you have to be home very, very early, and at the same time, this physical distancing has to be kept. If you're running a restaurant and nobody's coming in, or another establishment of entertainment, for which nobody comes in, then obviously it's useful for the people who actually are in jobs, but those who lose jobs nevertheless, then that doesn't kick in. So yes, I think it had a moderate effect, to be honest, because a very small share of people got to actually benefit from that, and maybe that helped because then they could purchase other things or actually improve their savings or improve their purchases in other areas. But on the whole, the big shock that people cannot work, which is basically a demand side, a supply side shock, that people cannot work.
So this was last year. So you can imagine this year how it's going to be, considering we had just begun the year, and just 3 months into the year, things are not are turning out right. That many people are going to lose their jobs. For example, right now, I remember I had just gone to purchase something, and I could tell that the number of workers who have been laid down, they're just quite a lot of them, which will mean that even if you're looking for an alternative job to do, higher chances are you are not going to get that job, because right now they're going to take a look at the employer that they really need the most, for their business to boom. That is for some businesses that have been acknowledged, to like continuing that is to continue doing their businesses. And earlier on I had talked about some businesses have been the government is going to take a look at some businesses that really do not get to contribute to the economy that much, so you definitely have to be laid down. So you can imagine that those individuals in the informal sector, how it is going to be. And remember, as a human being, you have to take care of your house rent, so you have to take care of different types of bills out here, and it is just not going to be easy. So I'm just hoping that that the next talk that the president is going to have in the country, that he should be considerate on some businesses. How about if it's all about adjusting to the safetiness and so on, then let people try do that. If that is the only way forward, that we can be able to still do business as usual. Because right now I think that it is becoming quite of a loss. Those people who actually own clubs, it's now even a hell of a story for them. It's just crazy everywhere in the country. I was taking a look at people trying to try some other businesses. The types of artists, that is different types of artists, have also been affected by this situation, because right now concerts have been banned. You cannot book a concert to go anywhere. Travel agencies, they're also affected by this, because right now you cannot leave your specific county to go to another county for you to go to like have fun. So it's just crazy ever that everybody is being affected by this, and this is just the beginning of the year. So I'm just imagining how it is going to be come the few months left,
because the circumstances of their work would actually spread COVID-19. Still means that this was something, but it definitely wasn't enough. As you can see, if 1.7 million people are not working, then that means that 1.7 million would not enjoy the tax cuts that the president spoke about.
Indeed, and you have said it was definitely not enough. But then let's remain there and talk more about what you think perhaps needed to be done, because a lot of Kenyans have been waiting. I think this was the 11th address of the president, if I'm not wrong. And a lot of Kenyans have always been waiting for issues like rent to be addressed. Because as you said, if about 1.7 million people are unemployed, then a lot of them are definitely unable to meet some of these basic needs. So do you still think or believe that such issues needed to be raised by the president? For instance, rent.
Well, let's first start with the data shows that close to 70 or 80% of Kenyans actually own the houses in which they live. So this rental landlord problem is actually an urban living problem. So that's the first. Now, the president's response. Would actually have been very unfair, in addition to the fact that there's just no authority that the president has to tell private people to not collect their rents that are due. However, it is possible, and as we talked about the Kazi kwa Vijana Mtaani initiatives, and by the president asking everybody to understand and to pull together for some accommodation to have been made. But remember that a person who has constructed a house expects those payments to be able to pay their mortgages and to pay their workers. So this tells you just that the nature of this problem was a very, very complex one. And the limitations that the president had, and we think we have to concede that there are limitations that he had in terms of being able to keep his, what he can do. So the support that was given to businesses, I think it came too late, but a broad support that would have been given to businesses so that businesses can borrow some money and keep their workers in place would have been more appreciated. But I don't think that the president could have simply said that, look, landlords, please don't collect your rents from your, because even those landlords live off that income. Yeah. So there are a few options.
Okay, so now that we're here, 1.7 billion Kenyans have lost their jobs. What's next? And allow me to bring in the whole point on self-employment, which has been talked about a lot. But do you think it's viable at times like this?
Oh, well, I think, look, you see, the data that we have discussed with you, some of that are actually not just people who, the assumption shouldn't be that all of them are people who are actually employed. Some of those are also people who had their own businesses, but they couldn't run their own businesses. So for instance, if you're running a restaurant, or if you're running an entertainment place, whether it's a movie theater or a hotel or facilities for tourism. So this is, you're providing employment to others, but also it's also your major base of income. So really, this is not about whether you're self-employed or not. This is just that the kind of thing that affects employment in general will affect people who are self-employed and also affect other people who are businesses that are growing and are affecting other people. So what the president should have put more time to is actually what we call the Lifeline Fund, as suggested by David D, which is a facility made available specific for small and micro businesses to borrow from at concessional rates, and to use that to support business operations, or at least to keep the workers in place so that you can pay them some amount of money to keep the workers in place as the economy survives. We have no choice now. This is an employment problem that we see, and this shock can only be solved if people are able to go back to work, which means some control of the spread of the disease has to be made, and if government manages to control and reduce infections, then as workers come back to, as it becomes safer for people to work and for social interactions to take place, then the economy will recover. But there's no shortcut around this.
Okay, let's now switch gears and talk about the reopening of the economy, which has been happening, albeit slowly by slowly. But then, first question would be: has it helped, or should we prioritize on the health guidelines? Because after reopening the economy, and especially the past recent days where we've seen a decline in the numbers of COVID-19 statistics, we've seen people sort of like relax in some of the measures that they should take. They should put in place against COVID-19. So has this reopening of the economy helped in any way?
Well, I think that the suspension of those restrictions that the president did at the end of July helped. Because as you can see, some recovery, some retail places are opening, of course, with the exception of broader entertainment places and places of worship such as churches and big churches and all that. But yes, I think it has helped. It also helped that whatever might be the cause, part of it is Kenyans staying at home. Part of it is also the health measures that people are taking. The spread of the disease, at least based on the data that has been presented, seems to be slowing. If that slows down and the deaths come down, so what will be required is for just government to continue to enforce basic hygiene. I mean, rather basic sanitation, which is to tell people that, look, in public places you must keep your mask on, and if people keep the masks on, the economy will recover slowly, I think, but over time we'll expect the recovery to take place. So it's clear right now that I think the things that need to be done. Let's forget, for instance, for the time being, the scandals that we have at the Ministry of Health and Cancer, but it's clear right now.
There is the situation that is in the country, but then again, let me know your view regarding that, because I find this to be quite disturbing that we are still back at how it was back in 2020. And taking a look at the newspaper, I'm shook at the number of properties that are being auctioned. You know, most of the time when a property is being auctioned, most of the time it is because one has not been able to pay their debts. So you can imagine the number of people who actually took loans to the bank, wishing or rather hoping that the business come the end of the year, they will be able, to return in the profit. But COVID is still happening, and that is really not taking place. It will mean that the loan that you took basically just took it for more and more losses. That is the situation that is been, that we are seeing more auctioneers, that is more auctioneers, of course, taking taking some of the properties, because some individuals have not been able to pay their debts. This is the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. And today it is all about the effect of COVID and the hustling nation. And I'm seeing that things are not quite easy. I've just interacted with a lot of people, and they're like, they do not like the way the country is going. Let me know how this has affected your country. Let me know also regarding the 5G, if you guys have gotten to experience the 5G or not. And moving on from that, because we are just a few minutes before we get to wind up, let me take you through what is happening in different African countries. Let me take you through what is happening in different African countries. And I would like to take us a one-on-one. I'd like to take us one-on-one, of course, all the way to that is all the way to Tanzania. A lot of let me just say, all eyes have been on Tanzania, the demise of Magufuli, and all eyes are on Suluhu right now. So recently, because one thing I love about Tanzania is that it does its best to fight corruption. That Tanzania, unlike other African countries, if you are a corrupt leader, you are held responsible, and you must provide answers that will suit the court, or rather will suit the eyes of the government, for them to verify that you are not corrupt. That Tanzania is that one African country, irrespective of the rank that you have in the country, justice must be served to you. So Samia Suluhu has been working in collaboration, of course, with the different people right now that she is the president. And we are seeing there was this one worker who used to work during Magufuli's regime. And I'm talking about at the port. And a lot of missing information regarding regarding the how the funds have been used at the port. They are missing. For example, this particular port, it is believed that an estimation of $1.8 million is missing from this port. So whoever is in charge right now, they are being held responsible, and of course, that is in terms of in terms of information, or rather in terms of the government trying to find out what really went down in this particular port. They're going to take a look at that. And I love how justice is about to be served in Tanzania, because on this particular port, I can imagine the number of farmers, the number of different business people who actually work with this port, but they are not benefiting anything. That is in Tanzania. We are also seeing Air Tanzania. I believe you all have heard about Air Tanzania. Air Tanzania is also the next one. It has been reported that it has made a loss of 60 billion shillings. That is in terms of dollars. That is 26 million dollars. And of course, the auditor, general report indicated that the national carrier has been making losses for the past 5 years, and it is believed, or rather, let me just say that they are saying that COVID happened and a lot of businesses have not been working. Well, that is where the lie is at, because Tanzania, of all the countries, we did not see it close either of its borders. We did not see Tanzania and lament that the economy was pretty much messed up. But all I want to say is that Samia Suluhu is back, and she's doing the most. She's continuing with, she's continuing with what Magufuli was doing for the people of Tanzania. That is ensuring that corruption doesn't get to take place in the land that is in Tanzania. And it is some great news. I love that. We have been talking about. Women and power. We have been talking about if women can quite deliver, if women can quite deliver. And I can attest that, yes, it is true. What a man can do, a woman can definitely do that one also. So let's take a look at, let me just say, all eyes in Tanzania as we get to hope that the Tanzanians will get to live a life back then as they used to be. That is an update from Tanzania. And also another update that I'd love to give us is that right now in Sudan, they have formed a peace coalition, which is quite a good news in terms of that right now in Sudan, in terms of a religion, Sudan is right now in terms of the peace that they signed right now in Sudan. Sudan that has not declared itself under any religion. That you are free, of course, to practice any religion. And like most countries, they have either declared themselves to be of Christian religion, or rather they have declared themselves to be of a Muslim religion. And as a result, we have seen how these two different religions have been making people, fight one another. But the good thing is that right now in Sudan is that it is now, in terms of religion and the state, they have been separated, because you've seen the different people have been fighting. The likes of different militants have been killing people because of religion. I believe this is some good news. I believe this is some good news in Sudan, that the people will not let religion get to affect their daily activities in Sudan. Let's just hope that this gets to continue for long. Remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Hot Fire Network, and we are almost winding up the show. But let's take a short musical break. But when we'll be back, we'll get to take a look at more. That is at one more highlight before we get to end the show right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. back to the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Blackwood Fire Network, a media for the 21st century. I hope that your Monday morning is turning out okay. And if it is not turning out okay, remember the week is still young and you can still keep pressing on because you do not have an alternative. And the suicide is not the way forward to some of the solutions or rather some of the challenges that you might be going through. Because trust me, at the end of the day, life is all about ups and downs. Karibuni sana, as we are almost winding up the show. I'd love to give us an update on what is happening in Chad. Recently, Chad has been having protests. Protests have been ongoing in Chad. You know, the Chadians are really trying to have a better tomorrow in their country. And there was this, one particular journalist who has been, covering the protests that have been held in the country. But right now, it is declared that he is missing. I'm not talking about this because it is happening in Chad, but most of the time, whenever a journalist is covering something sensitive, something that will get the world talking, they tend to disappear. And of course, on the other show, we'll get to talk about in terms of the freedom of journalism. I believe the freedom of journalism in Africa has highly been looked down upon. On that, you get to go to school, you get to study this particular course, you get to really adhere to some of the ethics that journalism wants you to have. But when you are out here on the field work, because of politics, because of certain people feeling that if a story is being covered, it is going, it is going, of course, to mess their, it is going to mess some of their manifestos, or it is going to mess their country, then you end up disappearing. And I want to say that I believe it is high time that, the freedom of journalism is being looked into. We've seen a lot of journalism, for example, even there was a time there was a Kenyan journalist who was covering some information in Uganda some time back when Uganda was fighting. You did get to see a journalist who was covering information in Somalia. Some of them went missing. Some of them were only found to be dead. I mean, this is not the first time that journalists are disappearing in the line of work. I don't know if you guys get to experience this in your country, but most of the time in any African country, whenever you are covering something sensitive, there is always someone out there who wants to silence you. I remember, I think some time back last year, we did get to lose a very hard-working journalist because he was dealing with a very strong story that actually was putting one politician in, let me call it, in more like a jeopardy situation. And trust me, this journalist lost his life in a hit and run situation. So this is not the first time that this gets to happen. This is not the first time that this gets to happen. That as much as you have gone to school, paid the school fees, in terms of even unemployment itself is also another thing. That you might go to school, spend all that money. As a journalist, you're out here, you do not get to get that employment. Not only as a journalist, but even people in different fields, engineering and so on. But Ricardo, how you said, right? You said, give us an update on what is happening in a child recently. A child has been having protests. The practice have been okay. Let me just get this. Naturally, trying to have a better tomorrow in their country. And this is in terms of a child. Yes, child. I'm just talking about a child, and just generalized in terms of journalism. In terms of a child, is that a journalist has gone missing. This is not the first time. When they were covering this story, most of the time, some of these leaders do not want some of the manifestos that they do have, to be looked down upon or anything to hinder what they want to do with country. The Chadians are really getting tired with how the economy is. They're really getting tired with the number of killings that are taking place in the country, number of missing people that are taking place in the country. And I believe it is every human. It is the right of every human being to go out there and protest for a better tomorrow. That is what is happening in Chad. And at Ricardo, hi. I hope you are doing okay. Hello, Keith.
Hi, good morning, Calmie. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Oh man. Oh sheesh. And I hear you talking about journalists, right?
Yes.
Well, sad enough, we really don't have any real journalists anymore. We got certain people that own all the media across
Mhm.
the planet. So only certain stories are going to be done. Anything talking about where the world actually works,
Mhm.
they're not going to allow you to talk about it. And that's why you get censored even on YouTube
Yes.
and other even social media because we own the media's been all bought up by the same evil bastards that run the planet. So the world is filled is giving nothing but propaganda. Just like when you talk about Kenyatta locking down Kenya again. Why? Why would he be doing this when Kenya is suffering economically and people
True.
have no job? Why would you do this? Because you have no COVID-19 in Kenya. No one's dying. No matter what the media's lying, because it's propaganda to give you fear, fear, fear. Why is he doing it? Who's told him to lock down the country? The European. He's a puppet. Kenya's
True.
about to lose the Mombasa port. So if you need money, and your batches have been corrupt, you're about to lose the port
Mhm.
to China. That you put it as a deal, and the truth is starting to come out that you wasted away the country's the children inheritance because you're corrupt. So why would you be locking down the country when you needed money to pay back all these loans that you can't
Mhm.
pay back?
Exactly, Keith.
Because
I agree with you. Mm-hmm.
yeah, because they put there. That's happening in America. It's happening everywhere. It's to destroy the economies everywhere. That's why
Mm-hmm.
Magafuli had to be taken out. This is a global thing. It's not just one country, Cammy. These people control the globe. And if you have, if you're not wise enough to know this, these people that control the banks, they control the globe. So um, they're trying to crash the economies in every country. So to lock down the countries, keep locking it down. The whole thing is never let you out of lockdown. That's the dirty scam. Never let America, never let none of these countries out of lockdown until people start fighting and say this doesn't make any sense. This thing is
Mm-hmm.
not even worse than a damn flu. Supposedly you tell me everybody's dying. Where are these dying at? Where are these deaths? Because I told you, black people don't believe in cremation since you gave them the Jesus thing. They're like, oh, I need my body when Jesus come back. I can't be burning my body up. I need to be buried. So
Exactly.
where are all these extra funerals if everybody's dying? That's in the black community. Where are all these funerals at? They don't exist. So um, it just had to see when people start fighting back. Start fighting back. Um, well, I wanted to say. I also wanted to mention you and Joey had pretty good chemistry. I heard you guys show on Spreaker the other day. Cammy,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yes.
you didn't know you already have Netflix, sweetheart. You never do that all this
No.
time. All this time.
Keith, no, I didn't.
That
But
that that that's got that's Spike's fault or something. I don't know. I don't know how. 'Cause I heard you guys talk about Netflix is expensive. I was listening. Cammy doesn't know she's already had Netflix for free since she's been in Black Hat Fire.
I've been suffering. I'm just going to crucify. And Specs has been hearing me say all about Netflix. And it's like, there was a time you mentioned, but just a briefly. No, Specs doesn't talk much. Just a briefly. I was like,
I
okay, wait.
know Spike's is terrible. I talk Spike shit. I said her Cammy talking about Netflix. I said Spike, Cammy doesn't know she's always had Netflix for free since she's been there. She doesn't
Mhm.
know that. I said, I don't think that. I know. I think she knows. I don't know if she knows. I don't know. I said, you ain't tell us, Spike. I said, I looked at the Netflix. I see Rummy was still using Netflix, and that she ain't even working with us no more. Rummy been
Yeah.
watching Netflix. Rummy been watching Netflix every day. I went to her little part, because little part that I got for you guys' names. I said, damn,
Uh-huh.
Rummy ain't even stopped looking at Netflix. she, she don't even work with us no more. I said, let me
Mhm.
let me let me block her ass.
Exactly. Anyway, Kit, I just want to highlight on the fact that the situation in Chad, that journalists are disappearing. And, Idris Deby, yes, Idris Deby has been in power since 1990. And right now, the Chadians are tired. So even if you're a journalist, even if you are who you're trying to cover that story, you will go missing. Nobody wants anyone opposing them. Everybody wants to still stay in power, continuing messing the people. I think, Keith, in terms of Africans, the Africans are really trying to fight. The ones who have
Let's
remained,
go.
they're really,
What's going to have to be?
yes.
It's going to have to be an uprising, Cammy. This
Mhm.
this shit is ridiculous across the African continent. It's only because Africa's rich, and the Europeans have put these puppets in there who do nothing for their people, but give all the damn resources to the Europeans or the Chinese. See,
True.
that's why I want you to be able to look at this and see, excuse me, with a African centered eye. That's why Magufuli was so loved. He was the anomaly. He said no to the Europeans, no to the Asians, and yes, I'm going to do for my people. So you see the outpouring of love, and he wasn't going to stay another 30 years. That after his last term, like he told you, I'm done. Right? He's going to give the country back. So it wasn't a thing of power. He actually cared about African people. He's a Pan Africanist. These other puppets that they put in there don't give a shit about African people. Their people, no people. As long as I'm in power, I get to keep stealing. I live good while the country's in poverty. So we don't just got Chad, we got Niger, we got Equatorial Guinea, we got Cameroon. All these old bastards have been in power 30 years or more. They are corrupt, they are idiotic, they can't move the country forward because they were put in there because they're dumb. I mean, they're dummy. I truly mean that because they're not going to be able to, like, the future is coming. You have AI technology and other, the world is now moving to everything being more technical. I can't have an old ass puppet in there, don't know shit. 70, like I'm a 70, all these old Negroes who are out of touch. Africa will be left behind again. So it's going to have to be an uprising. I'm telling you. So um, I think it's coming because I listen to a lot of young Africans. They seem to find out what's going on. I think finally, usually young Africans, like if you went 30 years ago, young Africans really didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, why are we so bad? What's going on? Now you know, hey, these leaders in Europe are screwing our ass. No way. So that's why they always shut down the internet when they do they corrupt ass, fake ass election because it's starting to listen. And the sad part, Cammy, the ex-French colonies are the worst African nation. They're always the one, everybody's getting shot and murdered from Niger, Chad, Mali, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea. All these ex-French colonies the English colonies are bad, but not as bad as the French. The French are never trying to let go of any of these goddamn African colonies. Because without Africa, immediately they go third world. But Britain too. Without Kenya, without Nigeria, without the English colonies, England goes immediately third world. They call Africans the third. Africa ain't no fucking third world. Africa's got all the wealth. So
True.
Africa doesn't need to go to England and try to oppress the English, the white man, for his fruits and vegetables. There ain't shit there. Or for his minerals. There ain't no damn minerals. Or for anything. That's what Africans have to understand. Hey, who's oppressing you? So journalism in Africa, they're allowed to talk about certain things, but when you start talking about, and don't think, and the social media is part of it too, because they own this shit too. For instance, last Saturday when I did the show, I know my name's on a lot of lists. It's like Lando said, I'm not. I know I'm on the. I know I'm on the FBI list in America. I know I'm on the NSA, and because what we talk about. So, but you can't scare me with death. Hell, ain't no such thing as death. And you know that. Sometimes people got to fight. So when I was doing the show Saturday, all my internet just went completely out. I was like, what the hell happened? All my internet just went off. Boom! Everything went out. And I know it wasn't out because I was doing the show with everybody coming to Tanzania earlier that day, for like the last 5 hours. As soon as I went live, all the internet in my house went completely off. Like, what the hell is going on? What happened? They cut off the internet, stupid. That's what happened.
They don't want you. They don't want you to speak the truth. They don't want you to speak the truth. But then
No,
again,
that's why we
go
keep
ahead.
losing channels. That's why they take down the channels, Calmie, over and over and over and over again. They keep taking down the channels because
They don't want the
you
truth.
know, yeah, because everyone talking the truth. Remember, they told us when we started talking about this covert scam, what it is, based on fear. They don't want you saying that because if you're quack, if I'm nutty, why don't you let me say, oh, he's a nut, he's a quack. But we can prove that this is phony. The ideal is to collapse the economies around the world because they want to make everybody like China. The whole thing that they lied to you, China's a miracle. China's not a fucking miracle. China was created by the bankers who destroyed America. China was a creation. That's why you go to China, you can't go to certain places. They've already chipped these dumbass Chinese bastards. They're not allowed to go around the country. They got face recognition everywhere. It's like a prison state. That's what they want to bring around the whole world. The Chinese have been wearing these fucked up masks for the last 20 years. They want to make that the norm around the world.
Yeah.
So the whole thing's never let you come out the COVID. Oh, it's always bad. It's still bad. Oh, it's worse. It's getting worse. How's it getting worse? Who the fuck is dying? No one. Why
No one.
would you Kenyatta talking about I've got to come back again and clamping down some more? Why? Because the white people told me to do it. That's why. Well, your country is an economic shambles. Why would you do it if you're supposedly a sovereign country, stupid? Your country is an economic shambles. People can't feed themselves. You're not concerned because they already paid you off. You and your family got paid off during the revolution when they supposed to kill your ass too. Your family got paid off because you wasn't rich. All of a sudden now your family's worth $500 million American. How'd that happen? Huh? Your family was not rich.
Mm-hmm.
You were given money by the English and put in power by them.
True.
I don't know why the Kenyans would not reverse engineer your ass. And you and your father did not collapse the tribalism. That's why every election in Kenya is damn near a civil war.
True.
You are a puppet, and I agree with Spikes had that young boy on yesterday, told the truth. I never even heard of Kenyan cuss. That boy said things in Kenya are fucked up. I said, damn.
Yeah, we're just so messed up. We're just so messed up in Kenya because this guy clearly, Keith, he's not going to be affected by anything because his father was paid billions of money that even if it takes as many years as even if it takes even 30 years from now, still they're not going to be broke anytime. It's more like a mafia circle. So the people to suffer it is us.
No, it's not going to hurt him. So he don't give a shit. He's isolated. Doesn't care. How can you lock down the country again some more when people's jobs are affected by this? How are they going to feed each other? How are they going to feed their families? Doesn't care. White people told you, shut it back down again. For what? The numbers don't cue. You don't see no one dying in the streets in Kenya, nowhere in Africa. Well, I was told to do it by white people. They told me what to do. I do it unless they kill me. I don't want to end up like John Magufuli in a box. But people know you're a puppet. You're going to end up like nobody. People know you're a puppet, stupid. Everybody knows you're a puppet, Kenyatta. Come on now. Please. Everybody knows you're a puppet. But these Africans, the people call leaders, they're not leaders. They're puppets. the European puppets. That's why they were gone to school using European countries, giving European doctors in there, installed in those countries. Because the money in the country is the Europeans never left, Calmie, after colonization. All your big businesses are controlled by what? The Europeans. So they
Yeah.
pay for these goofballs to come to power. I don't care if you're in France, a French colony, the French got all the business and they're the companies in the French or African colonies. Or if you're in the English African colony, the biggest companies are the English or the British.
Mhm.
So they're the ones promote whoever's going to be in office. They pay for the campaign and they follow their doctrine. The Africans think they've been independent. You ain't never had independence. You
Independent
never
is
had
just
independence.
a word. It's just a word. But
Yeah.
Kate, we are almost coming to the end of the show because we have to pray for the other show. Unless we want her to be whipped. You know, right now, Kate, curfew time, you're not taken to the station. You're just whipped by the police. That is how it is. I mean, it's just, I think we're just living the colonial times. So people are just scared. I'm not seeing a business as normal. Most premises have been closed. There's just some type of a mood that is right now in the country.
Because I agree. That's all of Africa. Because the African has not been taught to critically think, Calmie. He's been educated badly now. I mean, for the last 60 years of supposedly independence, you got European curriculum that told you what to think. It's really just memorized, but you haven't been taught to critically think. You don't know how to think. You don't know what you're looking at, so you're like, I'm scared. I'm scared. You got the media in Kenya. Hey, people died. Everybody's dead. People died. Just like you heard Joby on the show. He said, hey, you think 70 died of COVID-19? People think that he didn't die of COVID-19, sweetheart. That's what the Kenyan media people. He didn't die of that. He had a pacemaker. He had a massive heart attack because the Europeans hacked into his pacemaker, his defibrillator, and caused his ass to have a heart attack. He didn't have any COVID. But they'll put the narrative out there in Kenya. But, oh, he went against the WHO and didn't do COVID. He went against their people. That's probably why he died.
Yeah, people are
since
just ranting a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, and since you can't critically think, you believe the propaganda. You believe it. You can't critically think. You instead of critically think, say, well, damn, he's the only African leader that was saying no to Europe, saying no to China, and actually improving the country and helping his people. So
Absolutely.
isn't it funny? He dies, and all these old puppet bastards like Museveni, damn near 80, Paul Beard, damn near 80, the other one, Chad, damn near 80. All these old niggas are not dying, but the old niggas just live. You don't find that? You don't think this kind of conspiracy going on? You gotta think. It's like when Dr. Mumby told the Africans in Kenya, it is everywhere, said, beloveds, you got to put down the Ten Commandments. Then people go, the Ten Commandments? Oh my God, what are you talking about? He said, beloved, those are lies. It's not real. So with Dr. Mumby coming out in Kenya telling more and more truthful shit, it makes me laugh. I never thought she'd get this far. Said, beloved, don't come to my channel then if you're scared of the Ten Commandments. Just keep it pushing. Go to another channel. And the Ten Commandments were lies when they gave it to us. What do you say, Calmie?
I'm saying that is the spirit that we all need to have, because the moment you are lenient, people are still gonna flock and just be giving you wrong information. You just need to tell them on point that it is this and this. If you cannot dare to this and this, then the door.
Well, you know, she messed with a lot of people's minds. She said, beloved, if your mind is still messed up into Christianity, it's a lie. It's a lie. But black people will never research anything, Calmie. They won't. Like I said yesterday, they won't research it. I was talking to one of our people that's going on the trip. His wife won't come. I'm trying to talk to his wife. I'm not going to Africa. It looks too impoverished and dirty, and they don't got any traffic lights. I said, wait, talking about they don't got traffic lights. That's what she said, Calmie. I said, what? I said, what are you talking about? She said, that's what I've seen. I seen it. I said, I said, your mind, that's how propaganda works. Propaganda works. I said, you believe in Africa that they don't have traffic lights? What the? I didn't want to
You
cuss
know,
his wife. I didn't want to cuss his wife out. I said, so you're too scared to go to Tanzania,
mm-hmm,
one of the most beautiful places on the planet, because you said there's no traffic lights. Dar es Salaam, ma'am, is a city. It has
mm-hmm.
traffic lights. Well, I don't believe in living poor and impoverished. These Africans, like they always impoverished. I said, you live outside of Detroit, lady. What are you talking about, this impoverished? And they said, I grew up in Detroit. I said, you grew up in Detroit, Michigan? And you talking about poverty? I said, you grew up in Detroit, Michigan, right? He said,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I said, oh my God, Detroit's worse than any African country in the damn planet. If you talking about, say, yeah, it did get bad because they took all the jobs in China. I said, what? I said, you're telling me about
That's
Detroit, where you got burned down buildings,
mm-hmm.
burned out houses, and no one's living in them. You got boarded up houses because, I mean, I will say they did revitalize downtown Detroit. That's for white people. Where black people live, it looks like a bomb hit. It looks like a war zone. And you're talking about Africa. I don't want to ever go to Africa. It looks dangerous and dirty. I said, wow. I said, John, I don't want to call your wife a bitch, but this bitch mind is fucked up. Yeah,
Very.
Keith, man. I said, her mind is fucked up. I said, her mind is
Because
fucked up.
most of the images
Good.
that get to circulate, I'm saying most of the images that get to circulate are online. Most of these photographers, they either just come pick just a specific place and get to take images of that. But that does not mean that the entire Africa is like that. That is just maybe a specific place.
That's what I tried to explain to her, Calmie. I tried to explain to her, Calmie. She said, nope.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to explain to her lesson, like Calmie. She's like, nope.
You
You're
ain't
not getting
gonna
me
do
over
it.
there. Yeah. I said, ma'am, you can go look up some. I have been watching some of those people over there in Tanzania. It looks dirty. No. I said, what? Yeah, some people over there. They got some Americans living over there. I watched their videos. It looks dirty. I'm not living. I like comfort. I said, you like comfort? Okay. And I like comforts and stuff. I said, lady, we're getting shot, murdered, killed, in prison. You talking about some comfort? I said, this to Africa. I said, black people globally are fucked up in the head. Something wrong with us as people globally. I said, your wife, John, is fucked up in the head. She's dangerous, man. But this the majority of black people in America. They never want to leave and go anywhere. They've been told their whole life Africa's bad. So they're scared to leave the country. And we the main ones don't own shit no more. They destroyed us here. They destroyed all our businesses. We don't own shit. You got the Asians now talking about we beating them up. You got some propaganda going on that black people are now beating up Asians. These black people need to stop beating up these Asians. Ain't nobody beating up no Asians. You can't keep these dumb black women out there shop. Stop buying that fucked up hair. Stop dealing with these people. Stop giving them your money. Go to somebody black if you're gonna buy it. Sure. You can't even get them to stop doing that. Calmie, they still Calmie, do this before you leave. Do this. Cause this just happened. Do this. Go to YouTube for me and say black women fight Asian in Houston beauty supply store. Put that in not Google, but in YouTube. Say Asian fights two black women in beauty supply store. All these women came in and punched us in the face and blah blah blah. So I don't care if they lock their ass up. Lock their ass up. We told you stay your ass out of it. You black women American become two traitors. We told you stay your ass out their store.
Mhm.
You buy your if you're gonna buy the products, buy it from a black woman, get online, you go in their store and they lock your ass up, so what? Good riddance to your dumb ass. We told you, the white man had told you, you don't need the black man, don't listen to us, do what you want to do. Hey, it's feminism, do your thing. When they lock your ass up, don't come say, why nobody help me? Because we told your dumb ass it's war. Stay your ass out of there. Stay your butt out of there. You won't do it.
I believe it.
You can't tell me what to do, Candy. I'm a black woman, man. You can't tell me what to do. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Is that it? That's the one?
Yeah, I think this is
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Oh, that's not the one right there. That's the one in Los Angeles. That's not the one. That's like a year ago, Cammy. That's not the
Wait.
right one, but that's one. No, that's not the right. That's like a year ago. That's another. That's one in Los Angeles. Say the one in Houston, Texas. Houston, Houston, Texas.
All
Put
right.
that. It might be part of your one down there on the side. You got to put Houston, Texas. That happened in Los Angeles. You know where they choked her ass out. Her fat. You don't need to be in there anyway. You need to be on a diet with your fat ass. You have to be on a damn diet.
After a brutal attack was caught on camera. Now the DA's office is trying to determine
Yeah,
if that
yeah,
attack
yeah. This it, Cammy. This it.
warn you.
You see, look. Hold on, pause it. So you got the black man, the fake reporter. You got the black man. A brutal attack was caught on camera, and these nigga bitches was beating up these Asians in their store. It's time to lock these niggas up. Go ahead and play.
True.
Go ahead and play.
Then we need to warn you. The video to watch. Here's Grace White.
Video's graphic.
For a family that's been in the beauty supply business for 10 years, what cameras
Why are you in the black beauty supply business? That's the question should be asked. Why are Asians in black beauty supply?
The store's owner,
It was given to them.
punched in the face, but it's what she says they said in the process. It caught her off guard.
You Asian, Chinese pop.
She says there were 5 women who came into the store
Asia, talka.
not to play around.
Is this ladies dancing or doing something? Because it's more like they were enjoying this entire thing.
If you guys see, the whole outside thing has black women. Why are Asians owning black beauty supply stores? Are black people owning Asian beauty supply store? Of course not. I want you to know, I showed you guys Madam C.J. Walker here in America became a multi-millionaire because black hair care business is $1 billion business. They purposely took that business from black women and gave it to these Asians. It's to always keep you on the bottom. People never think, why are Asians in control of black people's beauty supplies? They're not black. And they don't even like you. How they got control of your damn business?
True.
We're born into it because the U.S. government peaceably took that from you, gave it to these no good fucking Asians after the Korean War. So we're going to take the business from these black people and then set these Koreans up and make them wealthy over black people with their own products. And now they try to block you out the market. So I say, black people, that market belongs to you globally. That's $1 billion industry globally. You don't buy for nobody that ain't you. You gonna learn to get on code. And if these broads didn't get on code, we told you stay your fat ass out of there. So they locked your fat ass up. I don't give a shit. Good. Why we in jail? I don't know why. You're in jail because you're dumb and you're off code. Told you stop fucking with these Asians. More ideal. But I do like see Africans see us. We don't count in America. Asians don't deal with black people like they do in Africa. We fuck them up. Asians don't come to us. An
Here
Asian
they
man
worship.
would never talk shit to me. Huh? Say it
I'm
again,
saying here
Tammy.
they worship. I'm saying here they worship them. Here they give them an opportunity to do anything they want because of their color.
That's what I'm talking about. And the sad fact, yeah, that's crazy. We don't got control of this country because we're not the majority. We're only 50 million. The white people got control. They the ones got 250 million. So the idea that you would give control of your country to somebody that's not black is enough to know that you're a puppet. So why the hell would I let somebody in my house who's not even my son or daughter and let them rule my son or daughter in my own fucking house? That don't even make any damn sense. And don't nobody do that. But it's only happening in Africa. You can't go to China. You can't go to Europe. Can't come to America where that shit's happening. Only these puppets allow this shit. So Africa's going to have to be told. Africa for the African. I don't give a shit who don't like it.
Mhm.
Africa belongs to African people, not Asians, not East Indians. Belongs to Africans. If we want to be nice to you, fine, we'll help. But the majority of Africa is going to belong to Africans, period. That's the fight. I don't give a shit who gets mad. You're not going to have
You're right.
Africans living on. Go ahead, Cammy.
I'm saying you're right to say so. I just hope it is high time that we Africans get to support one another at the end of the day, because these guys never care. It is all about your money versus their product, and that is it. You are not allowed to do anything else. You're not allowed to give your opinion regarding their products and things like that. And yet a majority of this stuff maybe they get it from Africa. But we are coming to the end of the show. At Ricardo Bradford, you had said earlier on, Keith speaks that it was in regards to the freedom of journalism. Ike Kofi, you had said greetings to you too. And I appreciate everyone who did get to tune in. We have to prep for the other show. Right now it is all about ensuring that curfew does not get to find us. Keith, I got to see that from as early as 6, traffic is already built up. 6-5 traffic is built up because people are now scared, of being whipped by the police. But I want to appreciate everyone who did get to tune into the show. I want to appreciate Keith for your sentiments regarding the show.
When does the curfew take an effect, Cam? Is it already taken? When does the new curfew go into effect? Has it already gone into effect already? Today?
From today.
All right.
All
right. Well. That Spike's at least show you that you've had Netflix for 3 years.
Yeah.
I said, what's she talking about? I'm like, what's she talking about? Netflix is expensive. I said, Cammy don't know she got Netflix for free.
And I've been installing it. Will you?
I said, Spike, did you tell Cammy she got Netflix? I told her a long time ago. I told her. I said, why is she on there talking about she don't got Netflix? Netflix is expensive. She's got it for free. Her and Joby, they got it for free. Show them how to put it up. I said, show them how to put the shit on their phone or how to put it at home. Either way, good God, Spikes, Jesus Christ.
Specs has been playing us all this time, but Keith, of course, will get to take a look at that. Let's just get to end up as we prep for the other show. But thank you so much.
Much love, family. Much love.
I appreciate. All right, do have a good day. Keith will get to interact on other platforms as well. And to the family, thank you so much. Remember to log in at www.blackoutfirenetwork.com, and you can proceed and get to watch some of the episodes that you might have missed. You can get to like and share some of these episodes. You can also get to read some of the blogs. You can get to listen to the music, and you can also get to support the stream at www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. We highly appreciate that one also.